Hi everyone, this is Sylvana from Bulgarian Mommy's Cooking, and in today's video I'm going to share with you something very healthy. We're making healthy alternative of these bad boys. This is an extremely delicious thing, but super unhealthy, and it's just really bad for you because it has 23% of saturated fat and 52% sugar and so on and so on. Here is my healthy version of the dessert. It looks almost identical. It's super delicious. It's super filling and satisfying. It has this chocolatey taste, and I also added some peanut butter, so it has a peanut butter scent to it, so you're absolutely going to love it. So definitely give this recipe a try. I almost forgot to tell you guys, I also made those little bites, Snicker bites, healthy Snickers bites that you are absolutely going to love. And yes, chocolate melts all over the place, so let's get started. So this recipe consists of 3 super easy layers. The first one is going to be made from oats and almonds. So first I'm going to blend them. If you don't have a blender, then you're going to have to get oat flour and almond meal. However, those are very expensive and you can definitely make them at home all the time, so consider investing in a blender or food processor. They are very inexpensive and sometimes you can get good deals. And then to that flour, I'm going to add some coconut oil, room temperature coconut oil, as well as some sweetener. In my case, I'm using linden honey. If you haven't ever tried linden honey, you definitely should. You can find it at Eastern European stores. However, if you prefer to use agave or maple syrup, then definitely substitute, but I personally like the taste of this honey better. Then I'm gonna go ahead and stir everything together until I get to this very sticky doughy consistency. As you can see in the video, this is what the mixture should look like. Now I have a square pan and I've covered it with parchment paper. I recommend that you use paper or foil because then you have to take the bars out and it's just going to be easier. And then I'm going to spread it out. I find using my spatula very convenient. However, if you want to try this method with a glass, with the bottom of a glass and another piece of parchment paper, just like I'm showing in the video, go for it. It's really convenient because you're making sure that everything spreads out evenly. So because the layer is not set yet, when you take out this parchment paper, you have like a little bumps on the edges, so don't worry about it. Just grab a spatula and just press it against the rest of the layer, just like I'm showing in the video. You can also use a spoon. I use a spoon, it works totally fine. And as soon as this beautiful, healthy, nutty layer is smoothed out, move it to a freezer for about 30 minutes. Meanwhile, let's get the second layer started. So the second layer is one of my favorite. It's super healthy, but as well as a little high in calories. But I mean, if you don't overdo it, it should be fine. However, let me tell you a little more about that. I'm using dates paste as well as some peanut butter. I'm also gonna add a little tiny bit of vanilla flavor. Now, this is very sticky, so I ran into issues with my blender, and I'm gonna show you in a bit what happened. However, I wanted to say that if you don't happen to have dates paste, you can go and look for one on Amazon. However, it's gonna be probably more expensive than just going into Eastern European store or Arabic store. You guys know that I absolutely love supporting small businesses, so every chance I get, I go to one of those Eastern European stores or Arabic stores. I absolutely love the things they have. Also, I wanted to say that if your peanut butter is salt free, then add a little tiny bit of salt. However, if there is salt in the peanut butter, then skip this step. Now, as you can see, my blender did not want to cooperate. So I ran into a little tiny bit of issues. I added a little tiny bit of water, like 1/4 of a cup, and still didn't really work for me. So what I did is I moved all this to a medium mixing bowl and I used my spatula. And now because the both consistencies are super smooth, I didn't have issues to put them together and to reach this one color consistency. So because this layer is supposed to be the healthier substitute version for the caramel layer that the original Snickers bar have, if you wish to give it this lighter color, You could add more peanut butter as I did, but I did just a little tiny bit. I didn't want to overdo it on peanut butter because all nut butters are super high in calories. They might be healthy, but they also high in calories. And of course, I love trying the food while I'm making it, so this way I know what's going on and I'm gonna give it a try, and oh my gosh, it's really good. So by now the first layer should be set a little bit, so I'm taking it out of the freezer and I'm gonna start spreading the second layer on top of the first one. Now here I'm using my spatula to spread it out, and I'm gonna do my very best to spread it out evenly. I did not use the method with the glass bottom and the other piece of parchment paper because this is very sticky, so it's probably most likely going to stick and you know, it's probably gonna be a mess. However, if you want to give it a try and you do end up giving it a try, please let me know in the comments what happened. I also tried using a spoon to spread out this layer, and as you can see, it didn't really work out for me, so I recommend that you stick to the spatula. So the peanuts are very typical for the original Snickers bars. That's why I'm also adding some. I'm using lightly salted peanuts. Here I'm just gonna add enough to kind of like cover the layer because we already have peanut butter and I just don't want to overdo it. Right, so as soon as the peanuts are in, I'm grabbing a spoon and I'm gonna press them towards the bottom of the dessert. I'm doing that because later on I'm going to cover everything in chocolate ganache, so I need the peanuts to stick to the bars. In the freezer it goes for an hour. However, if you do this dessert at night and you don't have the time or the energy to finish it, you can definitely finish it in the morning. It can stay in the freezer for overnight. And here is the third part of my dessert, the chocolate ganache. Now for this ganache I'm gonna use semi-sweet chocolate, and I'm using Lily's chocolate that has no added sugar. So if you have never ever heard of them, I definitely recommend that you take a look. And then to that I'm gonna add some coconut oil, and in the microwave it goes for 25 seconds. So now it's time to cut the bars. Remember, I'm trying to be as close as possible to the original Snickers, so I'm gonna give it a try and I'm gonna try to cut them in their shape, in the shape of the Snickers. Here I'm also doing mini Snickers, which I absolutely love. The Snickers bites, oh my god, the peanut butter Snickers bites are my favorite, but I don't want to do this to my body, so I'm gonna probably stick to this healthy version. Anyways, I wanted to say that if you don't really care about the shape, you can go ahead and cut it however you want. It doesn't have to be this way, but if you're trying to give it this exact shape, if you're trying to get as close as possible to the Snickers bar, then just grab a Snickers bar and try to cut it in the shape of the original one. And now it's time for the chocolate layer, the chocolate ganache. Now as you can see, I have a medium ball. It's not too big or it's not too small, it's just enough. This is important. So then grab your bar and use two forks. This is the easiest way to go. Use two forks to kind of like coat the whole thing in chocolate, and then lift it just like so and wait for the excessive chocolate to drop. And then I'm transferring it to a baking tray that I have covered with some parchment paper. I've done that because those chocolate bars, as you can probably tell, are gonna need to rest in the freezer or a fridge, whichever you prefer. I definitely suggest that you have a clean fork or a clean knife to help you transfer the bars because it's gonna be less messy. However, don't worry about the mess. As soon as the chocolate bars are out of the freezer, you're gonna be able to remove that the chocolate that's around the bars. So my bars have been in the freezer for 30 minutes. If you prefer to put them in the fridge for a longer period of time, that's fine too, but now let's cut into them. Look at that. This looks so delicious, and trust me, it's super good. And the fact that it's all natural ingredients makes me feel so much better when I enjoy them, and even if I go for a second piece, I don't feel as guilty. So now, because these are all natural ingredients, they're gonna melt in room temperature very quickly. So here is a great way to store them. Just use some foil and pack them around. and then I put them in a ziploc baggie and I store them in the fridge, and this can go for a long time in the fridge because they don't have any dairy or any eggs or anything, so basically there is nothing that can go bad quickly. And this is just a cute way to pack the minis, and here is one of the mini. Look at it, it's so cute. These are absolutely my favorite. And by the way, next time when I'm making the dessert, it's only gonna be the minis, because this way, I don't know why, but it's just you eat less of them and they're just so cute. Thank you so much for watching and supporting Bulgarian Mommy's cooking. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it helpful. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're of course interested in such content, with the bell on so that you'll be notified every time when I upload a new video. And I will talk to you very soon. In case you'll miss me, I have a tons of other cooking videos that you guys can enjoy and I hope find helpful. Again, thank you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.